Forget everything you think you know about mobile gaming, because one of the most ambitious RPG projects of 2019 has just been released, and it's going to change everything. Introducing Raid: Shadow Legends. Playing Raid is the most immersive experience you'll find on a smartphone, and it can only really be compared with the biggest PC and console titles. And the best part about this game? It's totally free. Raid has all the features you'd expect from a brand new RPG title, like an amazing storyline, awesome 3D graphics, giant boss fights, PvP battles, and hundreds of champions to collect and customize. I've played a lot of mobile games over the years, and Raid Shadow Legends has some of the best to date, not to mention the high level of performance on Android and iOS. Special thanks to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video, and let's begin our adventure together. So go to the link in the description and download Raid only through my link to get 50,000 silver immediately and a free epic champion as part of the new player program, courtesy of the dev team. I'll see you there in game. One thing that I absolutely love is stat comparisons, and especially when you're choosing your first champion. So let's, for example, just pick on Kel, and then what you want to do is you want to then compare that off against another one. You swipe to the right, you then go, okay, well that's that one there, I can see the stats, but you don't really kind of keep a log of the numbers. But if you swipe back again, you see the numbers change to go from green and red, so basically indicating that one may have better stats than the other, which is amazing, especially because not a lot of other games do that. Looking at the stats and also looking at some of the skills, I do like Ethel of the Sacred Order, so I think she's got to be my choice. Obviously, as we all know, a tutorial is really important. There's loads of great guides out there for the game. And one thing that is incredibly important is with the Arbiter, she is going to give you key information when you start off. Like, for example, I now know that the mystery shards allow you to summon common and uncommon and rare champions. Obviously incredibly helpful. More powerful champions means you're going to be able to do more damage quickly, of course. But without further ado, let's summon a champion. Fingers crossed it's a rare one. I love the graphics as well, especially the champion runs out at you.
With great attack and support skills. Let's head to the campaign map and prepare your champions for their first taste of combat.
We've picked up a Dark Elf Sniper, which I can imagine is like the long range type fighting type champion, so that's cool. First of all, you're indicated to go into the campaign, which obviously is a must. It's important to know those things about the way that the battle works, going through that story progression, understanding champions, skills, those kind of things. One thing that's absolutely brilliant is the way that they tell the stories, especially with imagery here. It's very reminiscent of like history. If you like medieval history, especially with stuff like the Bear Tapestry and the way that medieval times are loved to explain stories of great heroism, peril, and just the general story aspect to anything. It's just perfect. I love this part of the game. As the game progresses on, you have to look at strategy, and it presents this kind of versus section where we've got the pluses and minuses going up against things like class advantage, class disadvantage, similar things. A lot of games do present this, so it is really cool to understand that dynamic, take it from game to game and get that level of understanding. The Arbiter points out that I've got a special skill. This is an aura skill, and the reason that I chose Ethel was in order to get a benefit for the ally HP by 15%. I just felt this is going to be a little bit more helpful the further I progress on through, and the Arbiter obviously reminds you of that. Also, much like other games, it's a case that you have energy spend. So right at the top it says I got 18 and I'm using 4 to start this fight, which obviously we're going to give a crack at. The Arbiter reminds us of the way things work. So if we're going up against an enemy and things are positive in our favor, they are effective. But the fact is, if it's going to be red, then obviously it's going to be ineffective. And also there's a neutral, so obviously we're not going to get any good thing or bad thing, so that is good at the moment because we are down the middle as neutral. At the moment I've got this on auto fight, so if you take off auto fight like it is now, you get to be in control. It's up to you. In the very early stages you can auto fight through, but I think it's always nice to get an experience of what we're up to. So I'm now going to click in for this particular attack on this person here. You have to click on the person and it does the attack on them. Here we are in the final round, and here are my attacks here. Now you can look at the champion index in a moment to get a real kind of handle on things. And if you want to switch on auto, auto is right here. You can see auto right here. But I want to do the attack myself. So we're gonna decide to hit in. Now it looks like that is going to be an effective effect, as you can see by the green on the enemy. Or it can go on to the other person, which is a neutral. but obviously I want to hit on the one I'm going to do more damage. As you can see, an extensive amount of damage has been done, and obviously hit back and it's like, yay, we won. Now we've picked up the victory, we've got this weapon here which increases attack by 4 it seems. So yeah, that is going to be helpful for stats. I'm all about trying to improve the stats of certain champions, because you want to do more damage, you want to keep your champions in the game longer, they want to keep them alive, you don't want them to die, of course. So it's important to improve those stats, and it looks like from the campaign you get things like these boosts. Here we are in the champions section. As you can see, I've only got 2 at the moment. And look, you've got this boost here, which we're going to grab, we're going to equip even, and then we're going to put that on. As you can see, stats are improving, stats are looking good, and then we come out of there as well. I've gone into the next campaign mission straight away, and you know, I want to do the same thing. So there we go, effective, it's meant to be there, so that's what I've done. Effective, just attacking, and then we're going to hit into well with the sniper. Now, the enemy's on low health, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to take out 1 rather than keeping 2 alive, because then I was going to attack on the other guy, and well, what would be the point of that? What value would I get on that? So I'm using Athel there quite nicely. I'm then going to switch my attack onto this one, Rain of Arrows. Sounds nice. I'm going to launch this ability here on myself, Higher Blessing, increase my attack, and then I'm going to hit out. Obviously I'm going to do much more damage. So there we go, putting the weaken debuff on the enemy. Unfortunately, they're attacking my sniper, which I think has the least health. But we're going to finish off the enemy. We're going to take 1 sword out of the game. So there's less swords in the game. Or I think that's like a cleaver of some kind, or kind of a, what is it? Like a pike. That's it. That's what I was getting to. A pike that the enemy has. So here we are with the round 3 final fight. Let's finish off strong. They're both neutral, so it doesn't really mean anything at the moment. Athel hits in really decent amounts of damage, and as well we're just putting the hurt with a sniper. Rain of Arrows goes out to us. It's not done a significant amount of damage, but it's important. I've got to keep sniper in the game. I think that's quite a good thing to kind of keep an extra sort of mine in the game, or bow as it seems. And we just finishing off, hopefully, for the win. There we go. Similar to a lot of other games that I've played, and obviously we've picked up another boost, sets. Now it looks like we've got 2 of 1 set, which allows us to increase HP. So by clicking on that, we can upgrade. We can upgrade there with silver, which is then going to hopefully improve our stuff. And as well, as you can see, the HP is now improved. We can upgrade again. I don't know how far we can really go with this. It looks like we've got just over 50,000 silver. So we can go a little bit higher with this in order to improve it. And obviously the game is telling us, come on man, we want to see you alive, we want to see your set really good. And it looks like we can do that. Also, we've picked up some epic boots, which I'm really cool. Glad to kind of add that in, especially with the stats increases that it does have. It's just put us up with a lot more of a crit rate, HP, attack. So that has really padded the stats there for us. Let's have a quick look at all the things that you can get in the game, things and places you can grind out for stuff, and just general understanding points. In the shop, there's exclusive things to buy, as well as gem spending places. There's a referral scheme, so check that out. Daily challenges, which is great. That's something that all games should have. Quests and also achievements, because that's one thing that's really important about a games developer, is understanding you want to make further progression. You want to encourage people to come back each day. There is a login calendar, which is really important. Progression rewards are there. We've got news keeping you updated with stuff that's going on in game and also in association with the game. There's the mine, a market, sparring pit, tavern and great hall, all requiring a point where you've got to get to a certain level to unlock, which again is important because it does reward the player, obviously based on the understanding, to get to that point. I'm level 2 at the moment, so I really want to get that grind in by the end of this video. The one thing I want you to check out with me is the champion index. I love the way they're divided into several factions, as well as different types of species, humanoids, right the way through to dark elves. The list goes on. But the great thing about it is the way that the characters are actually modeled. Now, if you go into the Sacred Order, for example, and like all factions have that real standout, amazing champion or character. This one in particular, I've got my eyes on, called Errol. Now, the way that I resonate with this and like it so much, it's not just because the modeling is so sick, but just look at it. It just reminds me of like the Teutonic Knights, especially like older games I used to play. Just the design of it just looks so good, 3D aspects, the level of detail is just so refined, and I love the way it's just got that like helmet that reminds me of a stag beetle, so I just think that it's really cool as well. And also the stats are pretty good, as well as the skills. But also I like the look of the Warlord, Angar, because he looks incredibly ferocious as well as he looks so darn cool. Robar looks like an impressive force to be reckoned with. And the final character that I really like is one day hopefully I can get a legendary like Cythelia. A support is really important, and that is something that I need to get into my team. But one thing that I absolutely love is the community-led information, especially with the rating system and the review system, because people give you an idea of where they use these characters. In particular, at the moment, it's like campaign locations and clan bosses. Especially with me going through the campaign, if I could, fingers crossed, get this from a shard, then it's going to be brilliant for then taking through for healing and just general support as well. It's clear to me why Raid is getting big so fast, so get in early with using my link to download the game in the description below. So far I've been blown away with how impressive the graphics are and how much fun I'm having leveling up, thinking of strategies and working on my skills. Starting the game now will give you a huge head start, especially with what new players get access to in the beginning. Let's continue on our journey by opening up another shard. I did do one a moment ago and got a ranger, so hopefully this could be a rare. It's been 2 uncommon so far. So yeah, it was another common, so that's cool. So this is a new one. This is Hellhound, and it seems to be a good amount of HP, but obviously this will be a character that has to be grown a lot inside my team. I'm now going to look to develop my Athel a bit more, and I got these things I think from being a new player, which is cool. This set of armor, and we're going to add on this shield, which is a rare shield, and I'm going to upgrade it a little bit more. You can opt for kind of doing a single upgrade like this, or you can do things with like upgrading like 10 tries in order to upgrade. And I think the more rare that it gets, as well as the more you level up, sometimes it won't always work. So we're just going to do now, just going to build it a bit more. Same thing with other characters that I'll look to do, other champions, is just going to build them up a little bit and see what happens. One thing I'm looking to do is further progress the characters. And Athel is where I'm really kind of starting, having that kind of lead character at the moment, especially being very new to the game. I think that's kind of important to have one particular lead character that then the others can resonate from, and I'll build up the others in conjunction with. And that's what I've been doing, is upgrading these things. So I got a weapon drop for me. It looks like some sort of like pike weapon as well as a shield. So I've just been doing a little bit of upgrading just to make sure that you know, I'm getting more power from it, as well at the same time there's other aspects or attributes that it's improving as well. And same with the shield, just upgrading the defensive properties of it, so it just means that when I go into battle, this character can stand its own. Currently I'm only at level 3 and I want to continue on. I want to be able to get through this as quickly as possible, just to get up to those higher levels, to be able to give you an idea of the other things in game that you can do. Right, let's do some damage. First things first, you can see obviously where we've upgraded, we're doing a lot more damage, a lot more quickly. I've got it on ×2, but you can drop it back to ×1, which I'm actually going to do now, because it just means that you get to showcase a bit more of the experience. But at the same time, if you want to quicken things up, then you can do by hitting the auto button. It just means the fight is done quicker. But look, if you want to enjoy the graphics, the experience, then it's up to you. Like, you can, it's important to take control from time to time, especially when you get up to the more later parts of the game, because look, it's going to get more difficult and you want to be able to choose which attacks you do, and especially at one given time. So that's important to remember. We put higher blessing on at the same time, means we get an extra turn, so that is really important, and one of the key reasons obviously choosing this character may have been a good idea. However, I don't think it matters too much. We do have a more powerful character than the content we're facing off against. Do the double attack on the enemy, and we now hopefully gonna hit off. No, just keep the enemy alive just a little bit longer, but it doesn't matter. As soon as we get Athel into the battle, it's going to mean that we'll be able to take one of the enemies out of the game. Good, and then hopefully do a good amount of damage on this enemy, and then hopefully finish off in a moment. But you can see the more that you increase the stats of the champions, you're able to get through the content a lot more easily. We get up to level 4, which is great. We also pick up a shield, and it's good to give that option, like whether or not you want to sell it, but I need more of these type of items for my characters. Now we're doing a little bit of auto fighting at the moment, just to kind of get ourselves through. As you can see, unfortunately my character isn't doing particularly well. It's something that I've got to work on. I've got to improve the leveling up of Sniper, and then hopefully it's a case that she can stand her own in the coming battles, because yes, having Ethel as a lead character is important, but then when you reach the point that you've got that ineffective effect and she needs some backing up, then this character Sniper needs to be upgraded a lot more. Also, I've just picked up a Crusader. Now I didn't know that these came out of doing these particular missions, so that is amazing. It's good to progress that team further. Now this comes to the point that I really look forward to, having 3 champions to start off with. Because it's all fun and games being able to utilize 2, but hey, look, you want to be able to utilize 3, maybe even more when it develops further into the campaign progression. Now onto the final fight with Ethel, and look, I like doing this damage because like you just hit all 3 at the same time. That is so cool. We're here with Ranger. Now I don't want to obviously hit off against the ineffective, so I'll go for the lowest health. We want to take 1 out of the game as quickly as possible. They put Rain of Arrows, not particularly helpful, but look, we'll get someone out of the game very, very quickly. It's the first time utilizing this champion, so it's kind of important to boost the kind of the allies, which we do, and hopefully now take out someone from the game. I think if we go for the boss, which we'll do now, good amount of damage, 317, second hit on that one, and then hopefully in a moment we're going to finish off this guy to pick up the win. If not, then this is going to be very effective, which it is, and the final hit, and we do it. So that's nice. Up to level 5 as well, so we're making those gains. I've decided to work on Ethel a little bit, and on her armor I've decided on the weapon, as well as the shield, and finally on the boots, to kind of get them up to level 6, or the +6, so that it can be a bit more effective for the battle, especially going into finishing this first stage. I want to be able to do as much damage as possible. So we've got the penultimate stage now, so that's stage 6 before we go into the boss stage. I'm thinking if I make Ethel the strongest, then that may help out a lot. So let's do this. First and foremost, we're going to use Ethel, and we're going to see how powerful, even though this is neutral, how much powerful that is. It's not hugely powerful, but I feel that in time we're going to see that the multi-attack doing a lot more damage. Ethel hopefully will finish off then, and she does with that double hit, going into the second round. And now we're going to, even though it is neutral, hopefully do a good amount of damage. That's a great amount of damage there. So I'm impressed with how much Ethel is being developed and improved. And obviously when we've got an advantage, we've got super effective as we have now. It's going to hopefully be quite good. 312, 401, nice. I think that was a crit as well. Don't want to use that. That's going to be a bit wasteful. And then we're going to hit in. I don't know whether or not I use that kind of boost, that attack boost that you'll see. This is probably a good time to use it. So we're going to use it now. And the higher blessing, increasing attack, and extra turn. And then hopefully when we do this, it's going to see a good amount of damage. Oh my word, that was brilliant. And up to level 6, so that's brilliant as well. We're making those gains, as you can see. This now unlocks dungeons and arena for us, but I just want to finish off the campaign here and make sure that we're doing this final boss and hopefully pick up some good stuff. Will we succeed? Who knows? Let's give it a try, hey. Hopefully we do indeed pick up the win and pick up some good stuff as well. 3 rounds for this. Let's begin. I don't want to use that higher blessing just yet. I want to save that for the end boss fight. It's the first thing that I do. And let's see. We're doing some good damage so far. And as well, they're doing their bit to stay alive. So let's do this now. This is going to be effective. 282, 432. Not killing off the enemy just yet, but we'll get there, hey. First of all, I don't want to, like as I said, I don't want to do the big attack just yet. I want to save that right to the end. And as well, I want to save that higher blessing. Wow. Good amount of damage as well, but I would expect that for the way that we've built up Ethel. Good amount of damage there. Even though it gets protected, and just right at the last minute, that shielding helps that stay alive in the game. We're doing rally, double hit on there, take that enemy out, and then we're going to hit in a good amount of damage, hopefully. Good amount of weaken, good amount of damage. Unfortunately, still sticking alive. So this is a bit of a troublesome enemy, especially with the ones that we've gone off against before. So there we go. Now we're into the final boss battle. This is the point where I'm now going to rally the troops with a higher blessing. And then we are going to hit out. I'm probably going to start off with this and seeing how much damage. That's a good amount of damage early on. But as well, oh, we are taking some serious damage here. So maybe my team needs further work to it. And now we're going to hit off with this start attack. It's a good amount of damage I've taken off the enemy, but it is a good reminder that maybe I've got to do more work. Well, not maybe, but I've got to do more work on these particular characters as we do a double attack and hit off well. So I might look to develop this Crusader, and now we're going to pick up the win. But definitely some ideas for improvement, and we've got a continuation of explaining the story as well. This is quite good. This is very informative and does give a good background as well. But yeah, we've picked up some decent stuff. We've picked up a rare champion as well, which is great. The kind of game allows you to then pick up these characters pretty easily from doing the campaign, which I do think that's a big plus for any game like this. And the rewards, oh man, that's so nice. That's going to pad out some of my champions and just put that armor up really highly and allow me to develop a bit further. So hey, I'm pretty happy with that. First boss battle down. Something that I found that was pretty cool to bring to your attention, if you go to tavern and then you pick the champion of choice, so what did we do? We just got War Priest. So I'm thinking, because I want to develop another character and as well work on Athel, if you get this drink here, as you see, like it says about XP levels, it just kind of boosts it right the way up to level 8. So that's what I think I might do, is I've got the silver to upgrade, so we've upgraded her to level 8. We're then now going to work on maybe another character, maybe we'll choose another champion. So let's go back to Athel, because it's a 3-star, it's a rare champion. I think that may be better to do, like just space them out and just make sure for this very early stage that we just do a little bit of leveling. So we give her the drink there, and you can choose a lot more other drinks. So we just upgrade there, put her up to level 11. So yeah, I think that's a really good process. I'm probably going to wait to my next 3-star champion, my next rare, my next epic, my next legendary. I'm going to get one really early, but you don't really don't. You've got to do that progression route to get there. But still, like, it's still great. I've now leveled up those champions. They're much more stronger. We're then going to go and do further battle and get the level up.
Now there's a lot more that I want to achieve in game. Go to link in the description, which will help out and show those my progression route, things that I've changed, new skills that I've added, and what I've really been up to. Special thanks to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video, and remember, go to link in the description and download Raid only through my link to get 50,000 silver immediately and a free epic champion as part of the new player program. Join me in the next installment when we let battle commence.